are the parts. Welcome. So if you haven't subscribed, like, subscribe. We'd appreciate that a whole lot. So we got the large panel here, the two zipper panels. We have the zipper pulls. We cut off the jingling metal pieces and replace that with paracord, two end pieces, and our label. All right. Oh, one more thing. There's like a little grab handle for the bag. So here we go. We're going to start out with the zipper. And that's going to be the first step. So what we have here is some OD green thread. The particular customer wanted our camo green. So this is like a green 483 type color, which is what that is. And so we're going to go ahead and start on that sewing process right now. Sewing the toiletry kit bag. So one thing that we do is we actually put a little flap over our zippers. This little extra step in the sewing, but it makes it look super neat. Get my stitch length of 3.5 millimeters, and we're gonna go ahead and start stitching this up. I haven't sewed one of these in a while, but they're not too bad to sew if you want to get into sewing bags. This is a great thing to learn how to do it first, because like the bigger bags, they're just larger. All right, so once we get to the end there, I get the next zipper panel, and instead of stopping and cutting the thread, I just roll right into that next piece. So I like to send you with the lighter. So we kind of like QD or QC, sorry, as we go along. I'm thinking QDs from our video we did on the Geisley Super Duties. We had some QD sling swivels on those. We just put that video out, was it Tuesday or something? I don't know. It's on the channel, check it out. All right, so we get to the end of that piece, and what I'll do is I'll just pull it, and I'm gonna snip it. Trash can is right over here. So what I'll do is I'll snip that right over the trash can. Kind of helps keep everything clean here. Snip the end of that one. Now I'm gonna come back with the lighter. If you do sewing with nylon, just go ahead and I needed to cut that piece too. Just go ahead and get you a pack of Bic lighters. And the way we do this with efficiency is I want to pick that lighter up one time. I want to pick the scissors up basically one time, okay? All right, so looking to check out, the tensioning looks pretty good. So I can go ahead and flip this over. Show you how we do this part. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the zipper there and we're going to flip it over, and then that way we got that little cover up that covers the zipper. And to me, like, I prefer that. I like the way that looks. So all right, so we're just going to sew like this, and right now I got the wrong side of the fabric up. Okay, that would be the inside for those of you that don't speak sewing. Go right on down the way with that. All right, get to the end, and I'm gonna get the next zipper panel. All right, and we're gonna roll right into this one. I like to do a little bit of reversing at the end of the piece that I just ran off of, and then do some reversing again onto the piece that I just came on to. All right, there's our reversing right there at the end. Scissors in my hand one time. Come here, I'm gonna cut that, And I'm going to cut the tail right over here. All right, let's see. I think we got some comments. Let's check it out. Daniel M. Hey, how are you? What's up, man? You doing good? And then Kaylin Blick said, hi, what's up? Bradley McCure, what's up? How y'all doing? We are sewing a how-to video. So it's a toiletry kit bag. All right, so what we basically have done so far is we just start out by sewing the zipper. So there it is. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another line of pass on the another line of stitching. So I'm going to go through another pass, and then there'll be like a double, like double stitches on that zipper. So what I need to do is see if we are good on the tension, because we don't want the knot to show. So we're going to start out and do a little bit of reversing. And before we get too far, I'm going to check that out. All right, so we got a little bit of knot showing on the top there. I can go on. Gotta slow that sewing machine down when you get to the end there. I'm gonna just run it right into the next piece with a little reversing. And the stitches are gonna be, I don't know, they're maybe 1/4 inch apart or so. I don't know. But I just use like the presser foot to gauge that distance. So once again, scissors are in my hand one time. That way I'm not picking them up, laying them down. So they get laid right there. So right there, double stitching. You see how straight that is? Straight stitches, that's what we want. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take the two halves here. So there's a zipper on each side, and we just put them together. We're going to take our zipper pull, and the way I prefer to do this is I put the zipper pieces on the sewing table, and then I kind of just press them in there. So we got to sew like the end pieces here. But what I'll do is just kind of line them up. What I'm looking for is like evenness. Just making sure that one side isn't longer than the other. This is always kind of a pain sometimes. All right, there we go. So just shove it in there, basically. And what I want is it even on both sides. And then I'll come down here to the end. I'll check that. Get the other zipper and just push it on from the other end. So do the exact same thing. And this is probably just one of the parts that you get slowed down on just a little bit. See, that wasn't quite even, so I'm gonna just pull it out, restart. Yep, so got that one. So got our two zippers there. There it is, and then now we're gonna sew the ends. So the way we do that is we have our end pieces here, and we're gonna sew what's called a flat filled seam. So I'm gonna take the top side, or the right side of the fabric, and I'm gonna put the wrong side of the end piece down. And then when this gets sewed and we got our flat filled seam, this will fold over, and then it'll create an end stop for that zipper right there. So that's basically how we're gonna do that. So we're gonna run this through the machine one time. And what we'll have here is about a 1/2 inch seam allowance. That's what we want. On my sewing machine, right here next to the needle, there's actually a ruler, so it'll tell you. All right, so we're gonna start our reversing, then we're gonna come back, and I just sew right over top of the zipper, so it goes right into it just like that. All right. So we're going to pull that out. We're going to cut it. Snip it on both sides. So I have that pair of scissors in my hand that one time. Lay it down. Flip it over. We're going to do the other side now. All right, let's see here. We got any more comments? There we go. Hey, Kilroy Mosen, you once watched a 3-hour documentary about the dessert, or you mean the desert? Um, yeah, man, there's definitely some good documentaries out there on YouTube. That's what basically puts me to sleep at night sometimes. Like I'll read stuff and but there's like some of them shows like the How It's Made shows and there's one channel I've been watching. I'm sure it's like all AI generated. But it's like the history of simple things or something. It's a really neat channel. Um, and you know what? There's a lot of channels out right now that are completely AI generated. They're not even like original. Um, they do voiceovers of like AI images, and I mean I guess it gets views. I don't know, man, but like here we're doing original content. I don't think I'm smart enough to know how to do like all the AI content quite yet. So okay, so now we got that done. As you can see, we've just sewed right through the end of the zipper there. And so what we're going to do is we just fold these end pieces back. And then we're going to run basically a line of stitching over top of that. Now, what I like to do is kind of clean that up with a little bit of edge tape. So what we have here is some mil-spec edge tape. It's just like a ribbon material, and we're gonna feed it through our I don't know what they call this thing. It's a binder, whatever they call it. But anyways, we're gonna run this through one time, and so I'll show you what it does. Basically, this little device will take the ribbon, it'll fold it in half, and then allow me to sew it at the exact same time. All right, so I'll take that piece, I'll cut it, I'll come back, I'm gonna sew the other side. I probably could have binded this and put the end piece on at the exact same time the first time, but I think it does a little bit better job of, you know, sewing by having like that extra line of stitching there. So when we sew this thing completely together, man, we're gonna go around 3 times on this thing. All right, so once again, scissors are in my hand one time, so I can come around, I can clip all these threads while the scissors are in my hand. So working with the sewing machine is all about efficiency. All right, so now you can see that there's a piece of edge tape. It covers up that raw edge. And we're just gonna take a crack glider here. We're just gonna light up the ends. Now what we can do is fold that over and see on the inside of the bag, you won't see that raw edge there. So that's the reason for that. It kind of helps put a like a zipper stop there. And then what we're going to do with about 1/8 of an inch off that seam is we're just going to run like a line of stitching there. Go ahead and take care of that. I like to do a little bit of reversing over the zipper, so I'm literally sewing right through that zipper. Alright, then I'm going to back up about 2 places or so, and then I'm going to come back the other way. And that's going to put 2 lines of stitching there. So this is a pretty nice little toiletry kit bag, actually. We feel like we do a pretty good job of this thing. There's a lot of details, so there's 2 lines of stitching on there now. And when we look at the other side, you can see that edge tape covers up the zipper. So that means the zippers are permanently sewn in. If I made a mistake with the zipper, or I've done this before, it's really embarrassing, but I've sewn the ends on before and I forgot to put the zippers on. You know, just I've done that before, or had it in there wrong, or whatever. I've done that, and like you're gonna spend way longer trying to cut this apart because of the quality and how we sew this. With just we double and triple stitch everything, so you're gonna spend like 3 times longer trying to cut it apart and making an attempt to fix it versus just like, you know what, we're gonna start over again. And I'll throw the stuff in the pile that I've screwed up. So I got a pile, and if I can fix stuff, I'll just keep it myself. These little toiletry kit bags, like you don't have to just use them for like travel and toiletries, but you can also use them for just like organization, man. You can keep these things in your car and roll with it that way. Right now it's a lot easier to sew the label on. Okay, so Daniel, you're asking where am I from? We're from North Carolina in the United States. United States is a country in North America. The part where we live is in the northern hemisphere of planet Earth. Planet Earth is in this solar system, and it's in the Milky Way galaxy. And the Milky Way galaxy is in the universe as we know it. So I don't know, that's exactly where we live or we work. So, but yeah, man, where are you from? We're from North Carolina. It's a state in the United States, East Coast. The Atlantic Ocean's here. Right here where the bear is, that's where we're located. So central North Carolina for the most part. Okay. Go ahead and sew this label in. So the label is so thin that what I need to do is often I will adjust the tension just for sewing this, and then that way the knot doesn't pop up on the top. So if you know a little bit about sewing, there's a knot that we want embedded between the layers of the fabric. And when we sew these labels in, always make 2 passes of stitching. It just, I don't know, it makes like the thread pop a little bit. Looks really good. When we sew the camo green color, it's actually one of the most popular solid colors, at least on our gear. But like we like to use black, like black webbing. Obviously, the zipper's black. It just, I don't know, it pops. Like black and this green color just pop. Just really do. So any threads that the customer is going to see on the outside, we're going to hit it with that lighter. So right there is the label that goes on the bag. I've forgotten this before, but this is the grab handle. Like if you're using this toiletry kit bag, I guess, for like showering purposes, and if you're on a trip and you're in the bathroom or something, you can use this little handle here to hang from, I don't know, like a hook in the shower or in a bathroom somewhere. Definitely a thing. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of like tack that in. That's the handle. So cut it on that side, flip it around. I tack this in on this side. And you'll never be able to pull that out. But there's some examples of some toiletry kit bags on our website. It's in the description. to the video right now, so we made sure that we put that up there for y'all. All right, so basically all the work that's been done now over the last 20 minutes is been sewing the top. And we'll basically sew this piece and this piece together, and this little bag is going to be done. So here's the grab handle, and this is a part that I can mess up, and that is not sewing this part on right. So we sew everything like a bag, inside out. And what I've done is I've marked center on this stuff. It just really helps to do that. So I'll take and crease that up kind of like that, and I'll make that up right there, and that's where I'll start. And then that way, when we sew all the way around that bag for the first time, it doesn't end up being what I call, I don't know, cattywampus or whatever, okay? So crooked, or, you know, just the bag doesn't sit right. You know, it's all crooked and looks like a muffin that's falling when it comes out of the oven. You know, I don't know. So we're just gonna start there. I got a seam of, I don't know, 1/3 of an inch or so. It ain't gonna rip out. Alright. So the bag sets right. What I'll do is sew one side and then the other. I won't start on one side and then just go all the way around. I want to sure that it's even, so I've put little marks kind of where the halfway point is. And on this one I didn't put it, so I'll just kind of like crease that. Kind of help save a little bit of time. So I made up those 2 marks. Just kind of ensures that the bag looks good once it's actually sewn together. Alright. I like to clip those threads so we don't end up with, you know, the thread getting all in the way there. Okay. So once we've done that, then we can start here and actually go down and do our sewing. And so I'm going to get that all prepped up real quick. Alright, we'll start on this side. And sometimes we have to fight the fabric a little bit. If it were like one of these larger bags, you know, I'd be fighting underneath this machine. The duffel bags, actually, that's what these things can go inside of, and, you know, you can organize inside the duffel bags. So now that everything will be even, and I can go around, you know, one good time, and I'll take it and I'll make my turn. Just go all the way around this thing. So really important when we're sewing a bag and we're making, you know, all these turns and all this sort of thing, it's really important that that needle's buried. In other words, the needle's down in the fabric when we make the turn. Alright, so we're going to go down one side. That's the other long side. Alright, we're going to make another turn at the corner. And I'm sure this doesn't look like a whole lot on video, but you'll be able to see the end result. two more turns. And then we would have sewed all the way around this bag one complete time. And then we're going to go back down that other long side now. Alright, so we've already sewn around this whole bag one time, and now we're going to sew around 2 more times. So basically it's just sewing at this point. And I can run this machine pretty much as fast as I can go, besides needing to slow down and make the turns. I probably should mention that our gear that we make here is made out of 500E Cordura. So it's basically, water resistant from the inside. You can put your toothbrushes and stuff like that in there. You can store other things, but going down that other long side again. Alright, so that was 2 complete times around. This is the final time going around, and then we can turn the bag inside out. So if you got like a cheaper bag from somewhere, it would probably only have been sewed one time. And that's it. And then, seams bust and break open. Cheaper materials. We're gonna put on our Memorial Day sale tomorrow. So today is 22nd of May. So it's Thursday night. We're sewing live. We'll put that email out tomorrow, which is Friday. Of course, we all know that Memorial Day is Monday. Alright, and that's it. That's how you sew a toiletry kit bag here. We're just going to make a final snip. We're basically done with sewing there. So right now, this whole bag is completely inside out. What I'll do, since we're on camera, I got something else I usually do this with, but you can do it with a big lighter, is I want to singe all the edges here. And that way, like it won't kind of like fray over time. So I'll just take the lighter there and kind of hit those edges, and it will also get any of those loose threads or anything like that. And I'll just go all the way around one time. So there's a couple threads that we chopped. So I've never burned like a hole through the fabric, but I'm sure it's possible if I kept that lighter there long enough. All right. Go down this side. Companies that are larger, let's say, They use maybe laser cutters, and that will laser cut the fabric, and it will, you know, go ahead and singe it up right then and there. All right, so I think we've been around all the way. All right, so there it is. Let's see what it looks like. Daniel, if you're still watching, I have no idea where you're from, man. Daniel de Oliveira. I don't know, man. Are you from South America or something? Name like that. Annabelle, hello. Hi there. Thank you. Appreciate the comments. That's what's up. Thank you for hitting that like button as well. So, got that. So I'm just kind of like checking these corners, making sure that they're square. Pooch them out at the same time. So, got the sides looking pretty good. That side's looking pretty good. This is the side with the label on it. Okay. And we're going to zip it up. And so what we'll do is, I got to go get the clippers, but I'll cut off those zipper pulls since they're jingly. And then we'll put some paracord on there. But that is the Toiletry kit bag. That's how you sew one of those. Got a black candle there. You can hang it, you know, up on the, you got a hook or something in the bathroom that you're going to be at, maybe at the hotel or something like that. But, you know, that's basically it. Got a couple zippers there. You know, you can get in there. A mouthwash bottle, like a larger one, will actually fit in there. So mouthwash bottle can go in there, toothbrush, your shave kit. But you can actually put tons of other things in these as well, just for organization. Maybe you have like a backpack or something. Maybe you have our backpack. But you can actually use this for like individual organization. You put charging cables, extra batteries, you know, maybe note-taking materials, you know, whatever. Like, you can use it for organization. Tons of things. I guess you could put liquor in it if you wanted to. So, you know, whatever, if you're into that. But yeah, there it is, Toiletry kit bag. This one is in, we call it camo green. So it's actually green 483, in case some of you were wanting to know what the color code on that one is. So it's not OD green. It's not olive drab green. It is a different color than that. So olive drab green has a little bit of brown in it, and this one is more green. And we prefer this color. We make a lot of military gear, but we prefer this color green because we think it looks better on little bags and sacks and other stuff that we make here. And so we have a fanny sack that actually looks really, really good in green and black. That's one of our most popular colors in the fanny sacks. So, but there it is. You can find one of these Toiletry kit bags at Small Arms Combatives right there. Logo with the bear. Well, everyone, I'll take any final questions or comments. So y'all want to throw those in right now, and we can talk about it. If not, then we're going to be signing off, and then I'll see everyone, I guess, next week. So throw something in the comments and tell us what you would like to see sewn. If it's going to be like a big chest rig or something, we might have to do that in several parts, because like that's a lot of work. I don't know if I'll be able to do it like 3 hours of sewing on live, but you know, look around on the website, see some things that you might be interested in seeing us sew. And you know, put that in the comments. We'll see about it. Well, we don't have any other comments, so I appreciate everyone signing on with us and spending some time with us tonight. And I hope everyone has a great rest of your week and a happy Memorial Day weekend for those of you living in the United States. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and over and out.